Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome to Evolution of Pro Wrestling. I'm your host, Louis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And I'm Jay, the Whiz Kid of Pro Wrestling.
I started just a little bit. I was excited.
The Whiz Kid of Pro Wrestling.
Oh, what an introduction, man.
Right.
So, Jaden, we want to welcome back our fans into another edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling with this amazing topic that we're having, which we're going to name in just a few moments.
Definitely.
But Jaden, a lot has happened in professional wrestling within the past week. Like, past couple of days. Like, CM Punk, All Elite.
Oh, my.
Like, the pop this man received in Chicago. Like, holy shit.
That was crazy.
Hey, Alex, what's going on, brother? Long time no see, man. Yeah. Becky Lynch returns.
She returns.
And squashed Bianca Belair, which I thought was total BS to me.
I feel like, okay, so
total BS.
I know the whole concept with that. I understand.
I know
how that
they're going to make her the top heel on SmackDown.
They're going to do that, but I think since her and Sasha's match got
I don't know what happened to Sasha.
I know that. Their match got canceled, so they didn't have anything to do, so they went with that. That was like unplanned. That was an unplanned thing.
And then Brock Lesnar comes back.
That was... I don't know how to...
Like,
I have mixed emotions about that. Looks different.
Like, come on. He says, I'm back. Not a good pop like Punk, but a pop for me. Jay, the pop. Yay! No, it was a hell of a pop for all three. But
I mean,
to me,
the
biggest one was CM
Punk. Definitely.
Like,
CM Punk had the biggest pop. I mean, that's because he's been out of commission for a long time.
Well,
or wrestling commission, I should say. Well, anybody see SummerSlam? SummerSlam was good.
Listen, SummerSlam was good. The best match out of the whole entire card was Edge and
I'm glad they brought back the Brood Edge. That Edge, when I heard that theme drop, I got goosebumps. It was crazy that they brought back the Brood Edge. Oh no,
it was amazing.
Theme song and everything.
The match was amazing.
Oh,
everything was amazing.
Everything was perfect.
But when we talk about amazing, Jaden, you talk about superstars in this industry in all eras that have been amazing enough that unfortunately some of them haven't been in a Hall of Fame, and pretty much all of them are no longer with us.
Right.
Last week's topic was the 50 greatest deceased wrestlers of all time. There are many superstars that have passed away that really have contributed to this business. We named the first 25, and we're just gonna give you a short little recap of these first 25 superstars that we mentioned in the last show. If you haven't seen the last show, please feel free to follow us. Check our page from last week. Also, check us out in YouTube. You can see it there. We always have it there. So, the 50 greatest superstars were Shad Gaspard, and we mentioned him. We kind of went off script with that one. That he was an influence in the business for young talent, but what he did for his son was incredible when he saved his son.
Right.
You have Pedro Morales, also number 49. Nikolai Volkov, 48. King Kong Bundy, 47. Brody Lee, 46. Rocky Johnson, 45. Jim Neidhart, 44. Fabulous Moolah, 43. Sherry Martel, 42, I'm sorry. Rosie Iona, 41. Mr. Fuji, 40. Vader, 39. Gino Hernandez, 38. Howard Finkel, 37. Chris Benoit, 36.
At wrestling purposes only.
Yes. Mr. Perfect, 35. Big John Studd, 34. Dynamite Kid, 33. Paul Orndorff, 32. Bobby Eaton, 31. Bam Bam Bigelow, 30. Say hello to your grandmother.
What's up, Grandma?
Hello, Nancy. Thank you. 29, Big Boss Man. 28, Junkyard Dog. 27, Bobby Heenan. And 26, Harley Race. Now we are going to bring to you the last 25 superstars that we, in our opinion, predict that they are
actually some interesting 25.
Yes, they sure are. And Yes, we're gonna get to that, Alex. All those people you're mentioning are in this list, but where are they on this list? We don't know. We just put them on there by random. So we go to number 25. You asked for him, Alex. You got it. Ravishing Rick Rude, one of the greatest mid-card wrestlers of all time, which I feel, me personally, he should have beat Hulk Hogan for the title. He would have been one of the best heel champions. Oh man, no. No.
Speak your mind.
Speak your mind. This is what we love. We mark out. We're talking about the greatest deceased superstars of all time that we used to watch as a kid.
Right, exactly.
Ravishing Rick Rude was amazing. He was an amazing heel.
Definitely.
He knew how to draw a crowd. Exactly. Hulk Hogan never wanted to wrestle him. He never wanted to wrestle, and when he did, he would either do it with a disqualification or whatever. Rick Rude should have won the world title. He did, but he did it in WCW. He beat Ric Flair, he beat Sting, numerous other superstars.
I feel like it would have been bigger if it was in WWE, though.
Of course. You beating the baby face of the company, of course
you would have got a lot of
pop. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, it never ever sunk in with Vince McMahon. That was Vince McMahon's golden boy at the time. Hulk Hogan was the golden boy.
Definitely.
You know? And unfortunately, there was nothing we were able to do. But I at that time, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Hogan. I enjoyed the bad guy, good guy before I found out that it was scripted. But I still enjoyed it.
Even after I figured out it was scripted, I still liked it.
Yep. He said, way to go, Whiz Kid. So,
thank you.
He was definitely a inspiration in this business.
Right.
You know what I mean? And another unique character, unique superstar that made the number 24 list, he worked off as a heel first with Captain Lou Albano. But then he became a fan favorite, and it was go from there.
Right.
George the Animal Steele. Oh man, I used to love this guy. Especially, I still remember the match that he fought against Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 2. It was still an amazing match. To me, it was an amazing match. Macho Man got the living bejesus beat out of him, but
that's a classic.
But it was a classic. It was a classic match. He also was there at WrestleMania 3 with the turnbuckle. He used to eat the turnbuckle. He used to, after the match or during the match, both. He would do both. He would go to the turnbuckle and eat the turnbuckle while he's doing the match.
Like legit
taking the turnbuckle and eating it. Like this man, and he would feed it. And he would feed it to his opponents. Like he would literally do that, and it was funny. See, I'm showing my son a video. This guy, George the Animal Steele.
Yes, okay.
You know, he used to eat the turnbuckle.
Okay, that's understandable.
So
that's understandable.
He was an amazing heel to start when he was with Lou Albano, but then when he came into the fan base, that was it. Like he became this top star. You know, he didn't win his matches, but yet
he became a top star.
Still, the man became a Hall of Famer.
He became legendary.
Yes, and he was smart. He was very smart. And I actually seen this video, an interview that they did with him. He had a match with Andre the Giant. Mm-hmm. Andre the Giant said slam. George the Animal Steele went up, but he went like he pretended he hurt his back. So he knew the business. Andre the Giant told him at the end, when he was done, "You got it, boss. You understand the business." Think about it. Andre the Giant is 7'5". This man is 6 foot. You understand?
Okay.
Business. So that's what he knew. He knew business.
So basically, he hurt his back because he knew he couldn't pick up Andre.
No, he faked it.
He faked it, but they made it seem like he couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, walking rug. He was shredded, but that's what I'm saying. That's what he knew. He said, "I'm not gonna be able to lift this guy, but I'm gonna make him look good."
Good, right?
And he knew about the business, and that's what made George Steele
so
well.
That's smart.
And when you mention him as a heel, there was also a heel that he used to work with briefly, but not too much of a long time. This man used to call everybody a pencil neck geek.
What?
He goes by the name of Freddie Blassie, one of the greatest managers of all time. And he was very, very insulting. I mean it.
Wow.
Like, he was very insulting. Like, oh my God. I want you to hear this, Jay, of how demeanor classy Freddie Blassie was. He didn't care. Like, he hit you with his cane. He was also a good superstar. He was a good wrestler in the 70s. He can get it done like, he was brutal. He was brutal.
Sounds brutal.
Like, very brutal. Like, see, you hearing Freddie Blassie.
The Iron Sheik, I'd be wrong. Because they wouldn't be great, they wouldn't be holding that title. But we will gladly relieve them of that title. You know, Fred,
see, he was a jerk. He would be so vulgar. See,
his voice, you can hear it.
See, a pencil neck geek. He would call him a pencil neck geek all the time. He was a great and vicious wrestler. Yes, that's who he was.
They used to call him the Vampire.
Yes, the man was amazing. Oh my God, like, he actually was the one to lead Iron Sheik to his first world title when he beat Bob Backlund in 1984.
Wow.
Now, Jaden, I know you don't know too much about these old schools, but if you had a choice at this moment to watch something, would it be the WWE from now or old school?
Definitely old school.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a gentleman that recently passed away, unfortunately. For many of you that know, referee Nick Patrick, better known as Joey Hamilton, his father passed away. He is Jody the Assassin Hamilton. Excellent superstar in the past. The man, there was a reason they called him the Assassin.
The Assassin.
The man was lethal in the ring. Like, the battles he had with Bruiser Brody, with many other superstars. Bruiser Brody's just to name one. So,
Bruiser Brody's a tough dude. Right,
he's definitely a tough dude.
Bruiser
Brody was definitely.
And
a
if you
tough
can
dude.
handle Bruiser Brody, then you're a legend right there.
Of course, absolutely. Like, it was unfortunate that he passed away, but he was great in the ring. He made a contribute. Yes, he was.
The Assassins were a brutal.
Yes,
team.
they sure were. They sure were. And it's like, holy shit. Like, what are you gonna do with this guy?
Right.
And I seen a few of his matches, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
I bet.
So
I bet.
Now, there is one next spot that we're going to, number 21. This person was like a Jim Ross. You know who Jim Ross is? The announcer, the excitement.
The excitement, right.
But he was mellow, but he had his way. Gordon Soli was the voice of the NWA and WCW back then. This man was amazing on the mic.
I've heard of him.
Yes,
before.
let me show you. You've seen him before. You've seen him before. I've showed you his interviews. This is Gordon Soli.
Ah, definitely.
Gordon Soli used to interview all the amazing superstars. He even got attacked by Sir Oliver Humperdinck at the time back then in 1980 in Championship Wrestling from Florida. So, yep, the inventor. Man, when you talk about guys like him, imagine having him and Jim Ross together. Like, it would be so amazing. Like, how? Like, how would... What would it be with both of them doing commentary?
What would it be with both of them doing commentary? That'd be so
And with
crazy.
Jim Ross, every time he used to do commentary, he sounded like he had a heart attack. Because, he would really be into it. Like,
goodness.
He would do it. He would, like, he's kicking Triple H's ass tonight. I'm like, wow, like
and
this,
his voice makes it better.
it
too.
makes it better. It made it way better.
His voice made
like,
it
I'm
better.
like, holy cow. Like, it would be so amazing. Yep, he would call the duplex a suplex. Yep. Like, it would be so tough with Gordon Soli. Like, I used to love it. I used to love his commentary. But you'll never find another voice like Gordon Soli.
I bet. I agree.
And the next superstar you will never find is number 20, the living legend Bruno Sammartino, 15-year world champion. The man was amazing in the ring. He took on stars like superstar Billy Graham. Oh my God! It's so many.
A lot. There's a lot.
Many. Ivan Koloff. Like the rivalries these guys had. Like,
there's so many. There's so many rivalries.
Like, oh my God! Like,
yeah, Bruno Sammartino.
He was strong. Exactly 81 times or more. He sold out Madison Square Garden
81 times or more. And Madison Square Garden is a big place. I've been before, and Madison Square Garden is a huge place.
Mm-hmm. It sure
is. And to
is.
sell out Madison Square Garden 81 times or more, you're a living legend.
That's your living legend.
You're a legend right there.
You're a living legend.
Salute to that guy
like
for
because
sure.
he and everybody. He fought Pedro Morales too to a tie.
Wow,
it was brutal matches with these guys.
I bet.
You know what I mean? Like, and many people wanted to see the battle of him and Hulk Hogan, but it never happened because Hulk Hogan was the babyface. Because you got a living legend with Hulk Hogan.
That's not gonna go.
That's not gonna go.
That's
well.
not compatible.
It is
right
not
there.
gonna go well with Hulk Hogan. Not with the fans. I'm sorry. And Hulk Hogan would have never made that name for himself if he would have fought Bruno Sammartino.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm telling you, it would have crushed Hulk Hogan's career. Travis West, I am the WWE champion. Okay, I'm glad to hear that, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show. But yes, Bruno was amazing, and he was powerful. And when you also talk about powerful, you got number 19, one half of the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith. Jaden, I know you've seen him before.
Definitely.
And you've seen his power. What do you think about him?
His power is immaculate. You know, he's one of the few wrestlers that have absolutely significant power. You see, there's wrestlers that got a lot of power, and there's wrestlers that got immaculate power. And Davey Boy Smith's power is out of this earth. I've seen him do things that I've never seen a wrestler do before. Mm-hmm. Before, you know, all these Roman Reigns guys came along, people like him, Davey Boy Smith was that guy. He was the guy for the strength.
He was the guy for the strength. You know, he was in a tag team called the British Bulldogs. They won the tag team titles at WrestleMania 2 against the Dream Team, and they were good. It was amazing to see the way they fought. You know, he never won the world title. You know, he won the Intercontinental title, which he fought, for the first time ever at SummerSlam. Him and Bret the Hitman Hart fought for the Intercontinental title. A sellout crowd of 82,000 fans in England. First time in history, a non-heavyweight title match broke that record.
So was Davey Boy Smith a Hall of Famer?
I believe he made the Hall of Fame this year.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, but let's say he didn't. Do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Of course he deserves it. Okay. Of course he deserves it.
I'm about to say, that's the only answer I should hear. He deserves to be a Hall of Famer. Definitely. He is Hall of Fame material.
Of course. He's definitely Hall of Fame material. Yep, he made it. I think he did make it.
He made it?
I believe he did make it. So, it's it was bound to happen. You know, that's what he deserved that accolade. He did a lot for this business. You know, he was a European champion too. He was part of the Hart Foundation. And the Hart Foundation at the time was a major faction Like, it was an amazing faction with all those guys.
That's an interesting question. 2020 or 2021? Oh, that wasn't a question. He was saying when he won the
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was this year.
Me too.
Yeah, I think it was this year when they did it virtual. They did the Hall of Fame virtual. No, it wasn't virtual. Was it? I don't remember.
I don't. Me neither. There was a lot going on with this pandemic stuff, so I'm really not sure.
Yeah, but he definitely did make it. Yeah, it was either one.
It was either one. I know he got indicted into the Hall of Fame not so long ago. Indicted.
He didn't get arrested.
I was thinking. Sorry, I was watching a show earlier where a superhero.
Titans, you know, it's
I was watching. If anybody knows what that show is, they'll understand why I said that. But I was watching Titans earlier, and I was thinking of that word.
Yes.
So, excuse me.
Yes.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And when you see someone in the Hall of Fame, someone that was well deserved. This man was a heel to start off with. Then you have him as a face. Then he becomes a ring announcer. Then a president. And then a Hall of Famer. Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon was a very, very unique superstar. He was a huge guy. Huge guy. Like, he became face when he did an airplane spin to Muhammad Ali. God rest his soul.
He did an airplane spin to Muhammad? Oh.
And Muhammad Ali understood the business, which he actually is our honorary pick in this
Muhammad Ali
show. Muhammad Ali knew the business,
regardless if he was a wrestler or not.
He was a boxer.
He was a boxer.
He was the greatest of all time, but he knew the business. He knew how to get it done when you go on,
right? And
that's what happened. He made Piper. He said, "Oh, hip toss, boom." He had it with Gorilla Monsoon. He was trained by Freddie Blassie. He did WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff. Like,
he did a lot.
But he knew how to make him famous. He was a friend of mine. Was he? Wow. That must have been an honor to meet him. He was. I heard he was very, very religious.
Talking about Muhammad.
Well, yeah,
Ali?
he was, but we're not going to bring that up. I'm sorry. But he knew the business. He knew what he needed to do, and when he did that with Gorilla Monsoon, it was amazing. It was definitely amazing.
That has to be cool. Were you in front of a boxer?
Yeah.
Famous boxer?
No, he was good.
That's
he was
cool.
really good. And also a person that was good is the first lady of professional wrestling. The first ever woman manager in WWE, Miss Elizabeth.
The one and only.
Yes. It's a shame that she passed the way she did.
Right.
But she left a legacy here that her and Macho Man were inseparable at the time. But putting those two together was a classic. Like, it was awesome when you see those two go, like, in combination. You know, a lot of people used to hate it when Macho Man used to treat her like trash.
I mean, but then, eventually he started treating her better again. Because I think, like, at a point in wrestling, they broke up. And then they reunited.
They reunited.
Yeah, exactly.
They did business. It was the whole thing. They still did business.
Right, it was a whole thing.
Even when they divorced, they still did business.
It was the whole thing.
And it was something to see when you saw those two together.
It was crazy.
You know what I mean? Especially at WrestleMania 7 when Macho Man was fighting the Ultimate Warrior. He was a heel. He was with one of the young ladies I'm going to mention. One of the ladies we mentioned in this list, Sherry Martel. But he lost. His career was over. So I'm like, what now? What are you going to do? It's like, is he going to turn face? Is he going to turn heel? Is he going to stay heel? Like, what's going to happen?
Right.
And when I saw that...
But you cried, didn't you? I know you did.
Oh, I cried. I definitely cried. I'm like...
I didn't. I was just sitting there
No, I cried because I didn't know what the heck was going on.
I seen it on YouTube and I was just like, oh no. It's not like, I was mad or sad that his career was over because he had a good career. So I was just confused. I didn't know what was going on.
No, but she definitely did a good career for Macho Man.
Definitely.
She skyrocketed his career, especially him as a heel. He was amazing. Amazing. And when you talk about amazing, this brings us to a member of the Ione family. This man was one of the biggest men I've seen move as fast as he could. And he moved fast.
He did.
I'm talking about Yokozuna.
He was a big guy, too.
This man was a big dude that was able to move so fast.
He was able to get on the top rope, too, at a point.
No, he didn't
not all the way to the top rope.
He did the point. Listen.
But he got, to the second
I don't care
rope.
how much amount of money you try to pay me. I am not taking a bonsai drop from that man. Have you seen a bonsai drop from him? Like Rodney Aona. I apologize to the Aona family if I'm saying the last name wrong.
I would take it. I would take that bomb. That's cash right there. I mean, it'll probably hurt. Cash.
Yeah, cash.
Yeah, I can just pay for all my hospital bills. Just pay for the bills after.
He became the WWE champion. He beat Hulk Hogan. He beat Bret Hart. He beat The Undertaker. Undertaker loved doing business with him.
I bet.
And listen, there's an episode on WWE on Peacock and WWE there's a thing called Icons. Mm-hmm. It's about him. As soon as Undertaker saw him, he said, "I want to do business with that man." And he was, yes, you're right, Alex. He was originally going to be one of the original head shrinkers, but they changed that. They put him into a Japanese sumo, even though he's Samoan.
But that's pretty cool, though.
No, it was pretty cool, and he did it. He did it great, and it was unfortunate that he had to go. It was unfortunate he passed, but he brought a lot to this business that not too many people did. And that to this day, certain big men can't do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And Jaden, let me ask you something. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the Intercontinental title? What do you think of, what's the first thing you think about that title per se?
That's like
do you think it's a prestigious title?
I do. I feel like, that's like probably the second or third. If it wasn't for the Universal title there.
Well, no,
back then
there was the WWE title,
yes,
the Intercontinental title, yes, and the Tag Team titles. That's it. So that was second to number.
Yes, exactly.
When you got the Intercontinental title back then, you were the number one contender.
You were the number. You were next up in line for the WWE title.
So that what do you think of that title?
Somewhere. That title was it's been through a lot. That title's been down many generations of wrestling, that title is absolutely. I feel like that title honestly is more. This is going to be controversy, but honestly, to me, I feel like that title, the WWE title, is a big achievement, but I feel like the Intercontinental title is more of a special title, and I say that because when you win that title, it's like I'm a number one contender. I got a spot for this WWE title, and not too little people won the Intercontinental title. There's been a lot of people to win it, and most of the time when people win it, they become the champion.
See, but this is the thing, though, that many people don't understand it. And the reason I'm talking about this because this brings us to our number 15 spot. Mm-hmm. The first ever Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson. The Intercontinental title back then was for mid-card superstars, technicians like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, Tito Santana, Greg the Hammer Valentine. The WWF Championship was for Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. These big guys, strong guys. Many people don't understand that the Intercontinental title was a title that you would see some amazing matches for that Intercontinental title.
Definitely.
To this day, I still see Shinsuke Nakamura, prestigious of that title. The Miz, very great technical superstar, which many
He's
people...
won that title for a lot of times.
He's won that title many times. Dolph Ziggler.
I feel like now
technical
Miz owns
superstars.
that title.
And that's what this title signifies, and that's what Pat Patterson was signified as one of the greatest intercontinental champions and the first ever intercontinental champion of all time.
All time.
So, you tell me if this man did not deserve to be on this list.
He definitely did deserve to be on this list.
And he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Definitely a Hall of Famer. The man was unique. He was unique. We enjoyed his wrestling. He was he was even part of the Stooge. They called him a Stooge. Vince McMahon, him, and Gerald Briscoe in the Attitude Era. It was funny. It was funny as hell, and I enjoyed it.
Oh my.
I enjoyed it in that era. Like, Mr. McMahon. That's how they were. Yes, the street. Oh man, that street fight with Sergeant Slaughter was legendary. I loved it. I seen that match and it was amazing. Like, Pat Patterson was able to get down. He couldn't speak English too well back then because he was from Montreal, Canada. But he learned and then he became. There was no stopping him after that.
Right.
Like, he's like, okay, I'm coming full force, WWE. Let's do it. And that's what happened.
That's what happened.
He came full force.
He did it.
So, now Jaden.
Yes.
Number 14 is someone you know quite well.
Everyone.
You've seen him.
A lot.
You've seen him with a great superstar to this day, which
Two. I can't leave out the other one. But, okay, keep going.
Yes. He has managed some of the greatest superstars this industry has had.
Definitely.
From Rick Rude to Kane to The Undertaker. Oh, yes! I'm talking about on number 14, Paul Berra. Oh man,
Paul Berra was legendary, man. Paul Berra was legendary. I still remember the time where the first time I seen Paul Berra was with Kane, and that's when they were going against Undertaker. I'm pretty sure Kane tombstoned the Undertaker, and the Undertaker got lit in a tombstone. He was lit in a casket by Kane, and Paul Berra was sitting there with the urn next to Kane. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I immediately was like, Paul Bear's that guy. That was crazy.
You know what's crazy? He was an actual funeral director.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was perfect for him to use that then. Yeah. They made it perfect for that.
Yeah. So you sound like your underwear is a little tight there. No, he was a great man. He even managed Mankind.
He did manage Mankind.
That was a good pairing between those two.
That was an amazing pairing.
But there was none other like him and The Undertaker.
I feel like
especially when he came back at WrestleMania 20.
That was insane.
Oh man, that was insane. When I saw that, I caught goosebumps.
Especially the way he would carry Undertaker's urn, stand by the Undertaker. Man, oh my god, coming out with the dark theme, man.
No, and then the way he was when he became a part of the Ministry of Darkness, he wore these suits. His hair was combed a certain way, like
you're giving me Addams.
That attitude.
Give me Addams Family vibes. I don't know why. Like the guy from Addams Family that wore the suit, he would give me that type of vibe.
No, listen, it was amazing to see that Paul Berra coming from WCCW. I think it was Chris Kringle, something like that. I think it was Chris Kringle,
something like that.
That was his. I think that was his managing name. Chris Kringle. He had blonde hair. He had a cane. He had these colorful suits, but he was amazing.
Then he went to the black suits, the urn, slick back hair. Mm-hmm. And that's my favorite Paul Berra right there. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
He was amazing, and he's still missed dearly. And another one that's missed dearly is someone that he used to kill me with his attitude. Like he excuse my French, he didn't take no shit from nobody. He told you like it is, straight up. And there was a reason they called him. He was a color commentator He did some commentary here and there, but there was a reason they called him Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yes.
This man was open about everything. He didn't give a damn how you felt.
He was a commentator. Right?
He was a commentator. He was play-by-play. He also did some stuff. But he also in the Hall of Fame. Listen to his Hall of Fame speech. He said, "When I die, when I go to the pearly gates of heaven, when you put me in my coffin, turn me backside, face first, so all my critics can kiss my ass."
He said that?
He said it just like that in the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, that man's legendary, man. Mean Gene is
he even said it, no shit. Like, he took none whatsoever from nobody. That's how Mean Gene Okerlund was.
Like that.
He was a savage, but he was great.
He was great.
He was great on the mic. I loved him and Hulk Hogan had an amazing relationship. Like Hulk Hogan, well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Like always, that's always,
all the time,
always.
All the time.
You could, no matter what. And then Ric Flair, another one. Woo, Mean, whoo, by God, Gene. That's how amazing he was.
My God.
You said crazy ass. That's right. But yeah, that's how he was. That's how Mean Gene was, and it was amazing to have seen something like that. You know what I mean? And to this day, keep your day job. He did. I'm telling you, it was an amazing time to see him, man. And I miss him. I still miss him to this day.
Right there.
But the next superstar, number 12, which some people might find a little controversial. I'm going to put him on this list for certain reasons, but we're going to keep some stuff out. Number 12 is coming with a man that was big. He was strong. And he would run to the ring at 50 miles an hour.
Probably even faster.
Probably maybe 100. Former WWF champion and WWF Intercontinental champion, the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior was a very unique individual, per se. Not too many people, I'm just going to say this, not too many people thought much of him. But regardless of the fact, he brought the fans.
Once that music dropped,
he brought the business. He made money. He didn't know much about the business. He didn't really care much about the business until further on when Hogan passed that torch to him at WrestleMania 6.
Right.
You know, he was not a nice guy. No, that's what I'm saying. He didn't care about the business.
But he was an
attraction. He was an attraction. That's what made him so unique in the business. And he took on many stars. He took on Hulk Hogan. He took on Radish and Rick Rude. He started with Sting. Yeah, he started with Sting as the Blade Runners. He took on Andre the Giant. He took on many superstars.
I mean, hey, once you hear that music drop,
oh, that was hype.
That's hype.
That was hype. Like, I'm like,
you know, the whole everybody gets out their seat for that.
It was amazing. Like,
regardless of the fact what people think about them to this day, even if I stand up,
oh my God,
I stand up when I hear his theme song.
Absolutely. Oh, there you go, right there. See, that hype song. It will get you hyped
all the time.
It will get you hyped to the point that you're like, damn, I want to go get some barbells and start working out.
So serious, there was times I would be playing WWE and I would play the Ultimate Warrior and I would literally get off my bed and get a hype because I was the Ultimate Warrior. I would feel like I was the Ultimate Warrior. I used to get so hyped.
He was definitely an attraction.
He was definitely
an attraction for sure. Wrestling wise,
honestly, though, wrestling-wise, I feel like if he really did care about the business, he could have been something way bigger.
He would have been way bigger.
He would have been way He possibly could have been way bigger than Hulk Hogan. If you want me to keep it a buck.
She said, well, go do it soon. I've lost enough weight.
His promos were interesting. Interesting indeed.
Interesting indeed. There would be times I won't understand half the shit he said. But that's what made it so unique.
Seriously though,
that's what made the attraction. Like, I fall from the cockpit, drive the plane. Like, what are you saying?
That's some Greek god speaking there. But it was
interesting because you would stare at him like, what is he saying?
Right.
Like, you try to think, okay, does this make sense?
You just gotta piece it together.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta piece it together. That's probably what makes it interesting. It's like, you're going on a guessing game to figure out what he's trying to say, and you gotta wordplay all these words together and try to replace them with other things.
See, he said the skulls were on fire, my warriors survived. That's what he said. That's the type of promo he did.
Wait, the skulls were on fire and my warriors survived.
You can read it from there. That's what he was. That's the promos he did.
I don't get that.
That's what I'm saying. What have you thinking? That's what I'm saying. So he was a great attraction for sure. And who also was a great attraction, but also a powerhouse team, which I'm going to name both of them at number 11 and number 10. To me, the greatest tag team of all time. The Legion of Doom. The Legion of Doom was by far the most brutal tag team in all of professional wrestling.
Animal.
And it was a shame to see them go. Both Hall of Famers.
We met one of them.
Animal.
We took a picture with Animal.
We took a picture with Animal. It was heartbreaking because, I grew up watching them. What a rush.
Rush.
I enjoyed it. I enjoy watching them. I enjoyed watching the matches they had, but it was unfortunate that certain things happened. They disbanded. They came back for one small stint in WWE, but then that was it. But overall, they won every single major title in professional wrestling. NWA, AWA, WCCW, WCW, WWF, WWE,
etc.
New Japan.
Exactly.
Etc. Anywhere. This team was amazing. And I wish we could see more teams like that to this day. Now you see RK Bro, and you see Omos and AJ and
RK Bro.
No, come on, man.
RK Bro. Every time I hear that, it makes me laugh.
Like, you're killing me, Smalls.
RK Bro.
You're killing me, Smalls.
RK Bro.
Like,
every time I hear that tag team name, it makes me laugh. So
it was, but they were amazing. They were amazing.
Definitely the Road Warriors were.
Now, Jaden, let me ask you a question. The number 9 spot on this pick we're about to announce.
That is a good number 9.
Yeah, but let me ask you about that number 9. Have you ever seen anybody jump off a 15-foot high steel cage to this day? Besides Mankind.
Well, to this day, I've seen Shane McMahon jump off a Hell in a Cell onto the Undertaker. Well, he didn't jump on the Undertaker.
Okay.
But I seen that. But that's different. This is a cage we're talking about.
No, but I'm talking about actually jump from a cage and land on somebody.
No.
Okay.
Not anymore.
You know who I saw that do that? I saw that do that? Number 9, Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
We will all remember the day where this man, Jimmy Superfly Snooker, had a splash on Don Morocco
in Madison Square Garden.
Oh my god!
15-foot high steel cage. To this day, I still get goosebumps seeing that because it was created exactly. But the man who created it was Snooker. Yes, that's what I'm saying. All the splashes, all the coming off the cells.
It's funny because I was told about this. I was told, this guy did a splash, and I did laugh out loud, but I was dreaming. I was told Jimmy Snooker did a splash on Don Morocco, and I didn't believe it. And when I seen it,
but you see, not to cut you off, but now you're giving your grandmother an idea. When the next time you see her, she's gonna splash you.
When I seen it, I couldn't believe it.
No, I couldn't believe it.
I've never seen a man do that. But it was
amazing. Like the way he landed perfect.
Don't get me wrong. I've seen Shane McMahon do things like that, but that's not something Jimmy Snooker's ever done.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That leaving it to exactly. Look at all that. Brian Westcott. Brian Westcott named this. These are all the titles. I'm sorry not to cut you guys off.
These are a lot of titles
from the Legion of Doom. These are all the titles. All the titles in the comic.
That is a lot.
But yes, Jimmy Snooker did inspire Mick Foley to become a wrestler.
Really?
Yeah, because he He used all his hitchhiking privilege to go to see Snooker. But it was the greatest moment of his life. Because that's what made him become a wrestler. And that's what made him jump off a cage on Triple H at one point. And then that's when he just started doing all that crazy shit off Hell in the Cell.
Oh my
You know what I'm
god.
saying?
Yeah, man kind of became an insane maniac.
Oh no, he was definitely a maniac. But we're going to go to number 8, Jaden.
Yes.
To someone that was very unique in this business.
Yes.
This young lady was powerful.
Very.
She was huge.
Very.
And she broke the barrier
Definitely.
in professional wrestling. I'm talking about number 8, China.
China.
She fought for the first time in the 2000 Royal Rumble ever. She was the first ever woman to enter a Royal Rumble. Period.
Yes, she was.
She was the first woman ever to win the Intercontinental title. The first woman ever to win the European title. Need I say more? She could fight.
She could.
She took on Eddie Guerrero. She took on Kurt Angle. She took on Chris Jericho.
She wasn't scared. She would fight the man.
She will fight the men.
The ladies won challenges for her. She liked to fight the man. She was strong. China has some guts.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I had that coming. But yes, she broke the barriers. She broke the barriers in professional wrestling. That she started off with Triple H as his manager. His muscle.
Yes.
I say.
Dude, I can't wait to see you so I can do some.
See, I told you.
Well, you see me in November, so
Okay.
Oh god.
So she was tough. She was really tough. But it was a shame she got hurt and she had to retire. But she did a lot for this business. She did a lot for this business.
She did.
And it was amazing. It was amazing what she did. And it was a shame the way she went. You know, but
I agree.
There's one person that I wish he would have never went the way he did, and I wish he would have had more time in the business to eventually maybe come to WWE. When I think about this man, I don't even know how to start with this. Like, this man is someone that I would never ever get into a fight with.
He didn't take
I would never want to get into a
either.
fight, but I would sure want him as a partner. Now, Jaden, if you got somebody coming down the aisle with a chain swinging around, what would you do?
My whole pants color's changing.
Would you move or would you stay?
I'm staying as frozen as I possible. I don't even think I'll be able to move.
This man would walk down the aisle with a chain and people would move.
Like,
Move out the way. That was an art.
why
That
would
was
they-
a skill.
Why did they do that?
Because that's how mean this man was. And the person I'm talking about
Oh my.
is none other than Bruiser Brody at number 7.
This man took
Bruiser
nothing.
Brody was Brody.
He was a bruiser.
He was a hard ass. Like, he didn't care. Like, he would decide whether or not if he was going to give
He
you.
was gonna give you the work.
Like, if he was going to work you over or you were going to work him over. And
when he worked you over, he didn't go easy.
No.
He would beat the bejesus out of you.
No, listen.
He never sold for nothing.
If you saw the documentary of the Dark Side in the Ring, that man ain't play no games. He was like, wow. Yes, Undertaker's first match. And Bruiser destroyed him. Bruiser tore him up. Lex Luger tried to no-sell him. And he paid for it. After that, Bruiser didn't sell. It was just like, okay, forget it. I'm never fighting with him again because that's how tough this man was.
Wow.
He didn't care. He had battles with Abdullah the Butcher. He had battles with Invader number 2. Invader, which unfortunately things got out of hand with those two. And he really beat the bejesus out of him. His head was like a pumpkin.
Like
His
it
head
was swollen.
Like he beat the living bejesus out of him.
Wow.
Yeah, Luger literally ran away. Luger ran away because Bruiser Brody was getting pissed off that Luger was not selling and he was about to kick his ass.
Like, for real.
For real. In the ring.
Oh, God.
In the ring. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And Bruiser Brody was a tough SOB. But it's a shame he had to go the way he did.
Right.
You know? And it's a shame. This is even more tragic, which I know many of you probably still think about this to this day.
Oh, this is crazy.
This young gentleman should have been WWE champion.
I agree.
In my opinion. He was an Intercontinental champion. He was a European champion. He was a tag team champion. And unfortunately, his life was taken due to an accident. I'm sorry, that's something I just had to mention, which should have never happened. I'm talking about number 6, Owen Hart.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart tragically died due to an accident.
Didn't this happen in the ring, too?
Yes. He fell to the ring, 70 feet high.
Wow.
Broke his neck. He died instantly.
Yeah.
The man was a great talent.
Amazing.
In the ring.
Absolutely.
Great talent. And I mean, he was able to do it all. He beat his brother at WrestleMania 10, which was an excellent match.
Excellent, right.
But I think he should have won that title. But I think the beef that happened between Bret Hart and Vince kind of put a damper on that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, things happen. But I can imagine him fighting certain superstars to this day. Yes, Bret Hart, Owen Hart was one of the greatest of all time. You know, and I wish I could have seen him take on certain superstars going into the era. And yet, he will never be a Hall of Fame because his wife doesn't want him in the Hall of Fame.
Why?
Because of what happened. Because of the tragic death.
Okay.
But he deserves it.
He does.
He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And his wife should just give the blessing. But what are you going to do?
Right.
But, Jaden, let me ask you a question. When you see a dream, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
When I see a dream, what do you mean by that? When I see a dream,
I don't know. Do you see do you want to go for a dream, like an American dream? Or have you heard of an American dream?
I don't think so.
I have. At number 5, the American dream, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes was by far one of the greatest of all time. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
They did call him the American Dream. I had to remember.
Yes, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. The man was.
I had to remember.
Oh man, the rivalry between him and Ric Flair, son of a plumber. Yep.
Son of a plumber.
Like, oh my God, him and Ric Flair. The battles they would have in the ring
were great.
Epic. Like, it was. He would fight so many people. He even fought in War Games with his son, Dustin Rhodes.
He fought in War Games?
Yeah. It was the Nasty Boys, Dustin Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes against...
Gold Dust was Dustin Rhodes,
yes.
right? Yes.
Yes. And yes, he was a great heel with Dick Murdoch as a tag team. He was also a heel. But he's won numerous titles all over the world. And the talent he's fought in the ring was amazing. He's fought in bad guys. He's fought in good guys, crazy guys.
All of them.
All of them. All of them.
Any single one you can name.
Yes. He created War Games.
Wow.
He created War Games.
Interesting.
And it's good. Brian, I appreciate all the title notices. See, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. When you see Hall of Famers like this, with this type of track record, you can't say the man didn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Like, he was awesome in the ring. And like I said, he took on many crazy people. And when you talk about crazy people, we go to number 4. Jaden, have you ever heard about Scotland. Bagpipes.
Of course.
Bagpipes.
Of course.
Craziness.
Amazing promos.
Piper's Pit.
Oh my god.
Ring a bell?
Which brings us to possibly the greatest heel.
No.
Wait. I'm not done. Let me finish.
Okay.
Possibly. Or the greatest heel of all time. Roddy Piper.
Rowdy. No. You gotta say it right.
It's Roddy Piper.
If you're gonna introduce this man, it's Roddy Piper. Okay? That's what he was called.
Only thing you're putting in front of
He
him.
was friends with coconuts.
Oh, he was.
Remember when he snuffed Jimmy Snooker with the coconut in his
He
head?
was friends with coconuts. I remember.
He was amazing. It was
Oh
that rivalry was crazy between those two. It was crazy. Like,
it was.
Wow. And Roddy Piper took on the best. He
Get it right. Oh
Listen,
my god.
He was in the first ever WrestleMania with Paul Orndorff, Mr. T, Hulk Hogan, Muhammad Ali, Pat Patterson.
He was with everybody.
He was with everybody. Yeah, he's won numerous titles. Also, AWA, NWA, Intercontinental title. The man was an excellent. Like, they hated him. Like, there was fans that literally hated this man. Like,
I mean, if you're a heel and the fans hate you, you're doing a good job.
He was a natural.
Exactly.
He was a natural in being a heel. He knew how to piss you off. Because he used to piss me off when he used to go up against Hulk Hogan. No, you're absolutely right about that. He couldn't stand Mr. T. Like,
He legitimately
hated Mr. T. I'm telling you. You see a documentary from him, he did not like him at all. He hated him.
Wow.
He could not stand him at all. He said, "Why is he here?" He was trying to protect the business. And Roddy Piper, I say maybe when he was a heel, he never ever took a pinfall.
Really?
Never.
Never took a pinfall.
He never took a pinfall because he protected himself. He protected himself in the business. And back then, that's what you needed to do. He did not pity the fool. He showed no pity.
He did not pity the fool.
He showed no pity. And he was crazy. But he was the best heel of all time. And when you mention crazy, I got another one for you, number 3. Jaden, what is it I do to you each time I go to your room?
It's the Macho Man elbow from the top.
Macho Man elbow from the top. I'm talking about number 3, who also was a psychopath, but hell of a wrestler.
He was a psycho man.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage. Which to me, to this day, and I will keep saying this shit till the day I die. Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Greatest match of all time at WrestleMania 3.
Greatest match of all time.
I don't care what matches you throw out there. That to me will always be the greatest match of all time.
That was a really good match. We seen that on the
Macho Man.
I know I seen that match for sure.
Macho Man has taken on many great people. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Diamond Dallas Page, etc. Like, the list goes on and on. Like, he was amazing, and that elbow drop was sick. Elbow drop that's why I do it to my son every time he's playing video games. I say,
yeah, but he always misses. One day he's gonna be lacking.
No, but see, I do it slowly because I don't want to disturb him while he's playing. Heaven forbid, I got to sleep with one eye open.
Depending on the game, yes.
But Macho Man was very unique, man.
Definitely,
and he was definitely yes. I ran out of Slim Jim. Dig it. He used to do a Slim Jim commercial.
Slim Jim, dig it.
He used to do a Slim Jim. He say, "Snap into a Slim Jim." Yeah.
Slip into a Slim Jim.
You got to see a video. Yeah. He made money. He made a lot of money off the Slim Jim.
Randy Savage.
Yes, he made a lot of good money from Slim Jim, and he was very unorthodox in the ring, but he knew how to get it done.
He knew how to get it done.
And when you talk about somebody that got it done,
oh man,
this superstar number 2, to me, I think he should have stood WWE champion much longer than when he was. This man, by far, is one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time that I've ever seen. He had a slogan back then. I think it went by, what, Jada?
I lie, I cheat, I steal.
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh my God.
At number 2.
That is one of my favorite. That's one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all
Eddie
time.
Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero is a legend.
Eddie Guerrero.
He was a legend.
He was it.
He's a legend.
He was it.
He's a legend.
He knew what to do. Like, he would make
All
me laugh
the
so
time.
much. Oh my! And especially the cheating. When he would grab the chair like,
He did that. I remember that. He hit the chair with the ring through the chair. Then
and he got knocked out.
he got disqualification.
And it was,
oh
it was
my God!
perfect.
It was
It
gold.
was funny. It was golden. I loved it.
Eddie Guerrero
And-
is a legend.
Oh man, it was a shame that he had to go so early. But oh man,
Eddie
I loved his
Eddie
matches.
Guerrero
I
was that
loved his
guy,
promos.
man.
I loved his matches.
He was
like
really
the
that
matches
guy.
he had with Dean Malenko. Like
I still remember that match
Like-
that he had with Rey Mysterio with that custom.
yeah, orale. He would say orale because he was
Orale.
Mexican. But with Dean Malenko, he had a hell of a match. The rivalry with Rey Mysterio.
The custody over Dominic. That was crazy.
You know what I mean? And for him, he inspired Dominic to be a professional
To be a wrestler, right?
It was amazing. It was amazing seeing him in the ring.
Exactly.
And I wish he would have been around to face certain other people back heading towards his career because he was in his prime. He was in his prime, and it was just sad.
Okay, Grandma. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Grandma.
Well, Jay, we got number 1.
Oh no.
Number 1. This man, to me, deserved to be number 1 in this list. I've seen midgets. I've seen females in wrestling. I've seen heavyweights. But we've also seen giants.
And yeah, we're talking about a. Wait a minute. We're talking
I'm
about
not
a.
finished.
Wait a minute.
I'm not finished.
We're talking about a giant here, who can palm my whole head.
Where?
Put his hand around my whole face.
Talk about your whole head.
Exactly. But continue.
This man was undefeated for 15 years.
It's a long time.
I'm talking about the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant.
They even have a battle royal named after him. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Andre the Giant, to me, was one of the greatest of all time. Yes,
Definitely.
the man couldn't move. He did what he did with his ability.
I mean, he was tall,
But
though.
he was a
could get
major attraction. He won every single battle royal. Every single battle royal. He fought Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania with 93,000 fans. The Slam heard around the world.
around the world. People couldn't believe it.
Like,
I mean, look how huge Andre the Giant was
he
compared
took
to
on
Hulk Hogan.
guys like Killer Khan. He took on Genghis Khan. He took on superstars like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Iron Sheik, Big John Studd, which he couldn't stand. He hated Big John Studd.
Wow,
he hated Macho Man. He hated Iron Sheik.
He really, like, legitimately
Okay, listen.
hated them.
Hulk Hogan was the man.
Mm-hmm.
He was the champion.
Okay.
But Andre the Giant was the boss
Okay.
of the locker room.
Really?
He was the head man of the locker room. Once he says down boss, he didn't have to say it twice. He struck fear in people. If he wanted to make you look good, he'll make you look good. If he wanted to hurt you, he will hurt you. And he's done it numerous times. He actually did it against the Ultimate Warrior. At a point that he put up his fist, and Ultimate Warrior ran into his fist. Exactly. Everyone called him boss. Everyone called him boss.
Dang, Andre, that's cold.
Iron Sheik annoyed him with trying to. He asked Andre the Giant to try to slam him, and he said no, get out. And he kept bugging him. Andre the Giant had a match with him that he stood on Iron Sheik's back. Imagine a 560-pound man standing on your back.
My back would break. Look how skinny I am. My back would go to shreds.
He pummeled John Studd because John Studd used to come over the top rope. And that was Andre's thing. So he had no respect for Big John Studd. If you did that, that means you had no respect for Andre. But Andre was... Yeah, exactly. Hulk Hogan was afraid at WrestleMania 3 that he wouldn't pass the torch to him. That's how much fear he put in superstars. But he is our number one greatest deceased superstar of all time. This list, Jaden, was by far to me the best of all time. Great list, 50 of the greatest superstars that I've ever seen.
Agreed.
Well, wrestling fans, our time is up here. We've actually went a little longer than expected due to this nice conversation. Thank you for watching us. Please feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next week's topic, which was brought up by my son, very unique one. What would have happened if the Attitude Era never existed? Would there have been those Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, The Ministry, The Rivalry, The Monday Night Wars? We don't know.
Only time will tell.
We will find out next week. Thank you, wrestling fans, for watching. I am your host, Lewis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And Jay, the Whiz Kid of Pro Wrestling.
And for my lovely wife and producer, Yesenia. Thank you, wrestling fans, for watching. Have a good night and see you next week.